Hi, everybody. Today I have a special guest. I'll call her Teacher Asiyah. She's all the way from Shah Alam, but she's actually, she grew up and she was raised in Terengganu. So she is here to share her journey and tips for learning the English language in the hopes to inspire us second language learners to keep learning, even if you don't come from an English speaking environment. So, hello, Teacher Asiyah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me as well.
All right. So I have a lot of questions to ask you. And so my first question is, please tell us your background.
Hi everyone, this is Teacher Asiyah from English Class Shah Alam and English Class Bistari. So this is the first time actually, and I'm very honored to really talk to Madam Azimah. Okay, I found her on the internet and she is really inspiring. So a little bit about my background. So
Yes.
basically the reason why I'm here. So I'm representing people who are speaking English as the second language. And I'm representing people who are deprived or maybe they don't have the resources of speaking English because of the environment, because of the family, because I am one of them. Like no one in my family actually speaks the language. When I grew up, no one spoke English with me. Even when I was at school with my friends, so basically no one really. So I
Wow.
really struggled. So my background would be I was actually born in Perak, but then I was raised in Terengganu, which is in Manir, Kuala Terengganu, guys, if you
Mm.
know. Okay, so it is a very rural area.
Mm.
Okay,
All right.
so
So how did you learn the English language then? How did that come
so
about?
yeah,
Yes.
it is very interesting because I have the passion of learning language, any language, all right? Not really keen on science subjects to begin with. So, so I have the passion. I have the burning passion. So that is what's in me. So what I had to do was that I had to struggle. Not really struggle. I had to work really hard, to get there. Okay. So just so you know, guys, despite the difficulties, okay, despite the disadvantages that I have had. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here right now, the reason why I'm here is because I am from Terengganu where no one speaks the language, the
Yeah.
English language with me, but then
Yeah.
I turn out okay. I
Mm.
turn out that I can speak the language. Not only that I can speak the language, Alhamdulillah,
Mm.
that I can also teach the language. Okay, so meaning I'm a teacher. I'm also a teacher. I teach English. So if I can do it, you guys can do it too. So if you are asking me how my background is, those are the I would say the setting. Those are the backgrounds that I have had, and then I really hope that for those who are listening can also think that, oh, I can do that too, because I am also the living example of I don't have the resources, I don't have anyone who can speak the language with me.
All
I
right.
almost do it on my own. Of course there are teachers, okay, at school, all right, but then sometimes the teachers, when they want to explain something, they speak in Malay. But then
Yeah.
again, yeah, but then again, the teachers that I have had are, I mean, they were amazing. Okay,
Yes.
so those are my, I think, I would say my backbone when I was
Right.
studying as well.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, so I think that is a bit about my background. All right,
Okay.
is okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying that you had no one around you to speak English with except for at school, right? And but you had the passion. Can you tell us
Yes,
a bit
correct.
about the passion? I mean, is that the driving force behind you learning the English language?
Correct. I believe that your motivation is number one drive for you to succeed in your life. If you
Mm-mm.
want it, you will get it, because like that is what drives you. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is number one. Okay, so how good a teacher is, for example, of course the teacher will guide you, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, if you want to learn English, it comes down to you, how much you want it, and how much exercises did you do, how much readings
Mm.
do you do, and things like
Mm-mm.
that. So me, of course,
Yeah.
with my environment, it doesn't help at all. Okay,
Mm-mm.
so I have to, I really have to, I did a lot of exercises. I read a lot of books. I sometimes speak to myself. I spoke to myself in front of the mirror sometimes. So I asked,
Mm.
I answered. I asked, I answered. Sometimes like almost like you're talking to yourself. It's a monologue. Okay, it's a monologue. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not that you're crazy or something. It's a monologue. So I think those help a lot.
Right.
And just bear in mind, guys, for those who are listening, with all the hard work, okay, since primary school. Actually, I really worked hard since I was in standard 6, okay, UPSR.
Mm.
I really struggle, and I always ask teachers. I did exercises, one exercise one day. I never miss, I never skip.
Mm.
And then I continued my journey of learning English,
Yes.
always ask teachers and write essays and things like that. And I was
Mm.
selected by Mara to continue my studies overseas in TESOL, actually in TESOL, they
Yes.
call it, teaching English to speakers of other languages. And it's full scholarship. And when I came back, that's why I teach Mara schools. Okay,
Wow.
so and
Yeah.
then my first school actually MRSM Kuala Berang, and then I transferred to another institution which was College Professional Mara Indra Mahkota. Now I am also teaching, and actually I'm doing postgrad studies at UiTM Shah Alam. So that's why people say that how long do you have to study English for? How long
Mm-hmm.
do I have to take to master English? The question is that you have to understand that learning English is a process. It's not a product.
Yeah.
It's not like something that you can do today and you can master next week. It's not like something you can do today, you can master next month. So that's why
Yes.
people ask me, because I also teach adults. So they ask me, how long does it take for you to master English,
Yeah.
right? How
Mm.
3 months, 6 months? I say like you just continue learning. You just keep on continue learning things like that. So you start today and never stop learning, because I am today. I never stop learning as well. So those are
Yes.
the things that you guys should do, and
Exactly.
just enjoy learning. Don't do it because you have to. Don't do it because you are being forced to. Do it because you have the
Right.
love towards the language. Mm.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. So I like the activity that you recommended, which is to speak to yourself out loud in front of the mirror, because that's something that
Mm.
I also tell my students to do, which is not just in front of the
Excellent.
mirror but on camera as well, because now you have your phone, you can do that,
Mhm.
record yourself, speak
Mhm.
on camera, and then have a dialogue, right? And is that what
Correct.
you did when you were a little girl, and then you
Mhm.
still do that now, teacher Asiyah?
Yes, I am doing it. I mean, like I do it every time. Okay, I
Yeah.
do it every time. Sometimes, right? Because we are like we are wives. For example, like you are washing the dishes. For example, you
Yes.
are ironing clothes. So you're not
Exactly.
doing anything at the time, right? What do you speak to yourself? You don't need a mirror, but just speak to yourself. Maybe
Exactly.
because for example, I have a presentation. Okay, then I have to get ready, but then I don't have time. So then
Mm.
so I iron. Why ironing? I
Yes.
talk to myself and think about, okay, what are the things that I wanted to say, and the organization of
Mm.
what are the topics that I need to say, things like that. So actually, you can practice anytime, anywhere, with or
Anytime.
without a person. Yeah.
Yes, you have to create the environment yourself, right?
Yes.
In your
Mm,
head, even,
mm.
right? Okay.
Correct.
All right. So my next question is: do you have any books or movies that you'd recommend, or maybe there were books and movies that you listened to or read when you were a child?
Okay, this is very interesting. I think many Terengganu, I mean, like if you're staying in Terengganu, you will
Yeah.
know that we don't have a cinema, right?
Yeah.
Okay, talking about movies, I don't think so. I mean, I don't grow up learning English through movies, to be honest with you.
Ah. Okay.
Yes, my family also, we are not coming from a rich family, to be honest. So
Mm.
like
Mm.
in terms of movies, in terms of going out, going to the cinema, of course there's no cinema in Terengganu.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in Kerteh we do have one, okay, but then not in Kuala Terengganu. I stay in Kuala Terengganu. So in terms of movie like CDs, okay, my dad sometimes bought CDs, but then I don't think that I master learning English through that.
Oh.
Okay, so what I did was And actually, I started off, I did not really like to read as well. Okay, like
Yeah.
everyone else, I think many people they don't like to read. I
Mm,
and I was
mm,
one of them. Okay,
mm.
but then again, when I found books that I like, which is like when I was actually in primary school towards
Okay.
I think 17, 18 years old. Yeah,
Okay.
that is the time when I actually started to read novels
Yeah.
and the novels like Jodi Picoult and things like that.
Okay.
And how did I? So what did I do if I don't
Yeah.
read? If I, do other things like watching movies like what people are doing it now? Okay, before
Yes.
this, we don't really have internet as much as we have now. So
Yes.
what I did was very interesting. This one, I have a story that I sometimes I told my students. Okay, I think
Yes.
my students know. So where because I stayed at a boarding school. Okay,
Mm.
so from when I was in secondary school, so
Mm-hmm.
we go out during the weekend. They call it outing, right?
Yeah.
So we go out. Okay, some people they went out buying stuff like stationery and they hang out with friends, eat and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
did different thing. Okay, I don't think that other people will be doing this as well. Okay, I did it on my own alone. Okay, so I was walking on the street of Bandar Kuala Terengganu, I would say.
Yes.
Okay, I was
Mm-hmm.
17. This is when I was 17 or 16 years old when I was quite
Mm-hmm.
brave, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to approach strangers. Okay,
Oh.
strangers that I'm talking about here right now are foreigners. Okay, so
Okay.
so I approached foreigners. Okay, when I was 16, 17 years old, when we were allowed to go for outing and things like that, I went out instead of buying stuff or hang out with friends. I was out alone looking for tourists. Okay, so there were a
Right.
lot of tourists in Terengganu at that time,
Uh-huh.
and I think because they went to what do you call it, Redang Island, all those
Uh-huh.
islands.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so I approached and I said like, "Hi, sir. Hi. Um, where are you going? Is there anything I can help?" Okay, not really that I want to help them, but it's okay if if I can
Yes.
help them. But then I was actually trying to practice speaking English with them.
Wow.
Yes. So I
That's
was
something.
trying.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
brave of you to do that.
and I was alone. There were
Mm.
sometimes a couple of them, or three or four.
Mm.
Sometimes there's only one of them. So I think it was risky, and I think it's
Yeah.
don't do this if you are alone, lah. I would say. But so
Yes.
far, Alhamdulillah, I'm safe. Okay, so
Yeah.
what I would say that that is my speaking opportunity. Okay, that is my
Yeah.
speaking opportunity because, like I
Wow.
said, I
Mm.
don't have anyone around me who could speak the language. Even if
Mm.
I say, okay, come here, can we practice English? No, they don't. Okay, my
Mm.
friends, they feel like, oh no, I cannot. It's like so
Mm.
obnoxious. The sound of
Yes.
us speaking English is so
Yes.
like so then I don't call them, talk to me,
Right.
things like that. So I talk to strangers and they say like, oh,
Wow.
your English is good. They say, I was like, really? So when they say good, and it keeps me going. I
Wow.
felt, yeah, I felt motivated. So that is my secret, I think. So basically, I
I love
practice a
that.
lot of communication skills, a lot of things. Speaking wise, I spoke a lot to strangers because I
Yes.
know I will be pushed away by a lot of Malay friends if I
Mm.
speak in English. So I don't like that kind of negative vibe. So I talk to
Yeah.
strangers
Wow.
who speak English as the first language because they won't
Yeah.
judge us.
Right.
Usually they don't. Mm.
Wow. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So it's all about you taking action, looking for opportunities to speak as much as you can, and just not be embarrassed. Who cares, like what people think, but just do it anyway. Oh my goodness,
Correct.
thank you so much. Oh, Teacher Asya, we're running out of time, but
It's
can you
okay.
just tell us how can the listeners get in touch with you if they want to learn English with you?
Yes. Okay. You guys can always go to my Facebook page, which is English Class Shah Alam or English Class Subang Bistari. There, I actually teach English from 5 to almost limitless. Actually, even if you are 60 years old, you can also come and learn English with me. So a lot of students are adults, so you guys can sign up. Yeah, anytime. And I have another 11 friends who are English teachers who are actually helping me out as well, teaching the students
Oh,
online right now. So far we are doing online. Yeah.
that's great. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your tips with us, Teacher Asiyah. I hope you can join us again next time. So that's it, everyone. So thank you so much. You guys can tune in next week for another episode. Thank you, Teacher Asiyah.
Welcome. Thank you. You too.